This is Varhaug Old Cemetery, a cemetery located in the gap in the sea on the farm. Varhaug in H municipality. The church site dates from the Middle Ages, around 1200. The first church was probably built here, and there is much evidence that it was built on an old pagan cult site. Several different churches have stood in the cemetery. The old church was demolished in 1905, and a new church was built on Odland. Just off the coast here was a shipwreck in 1842 that claimed 389 Russian lives. Most were buried in the old Varhaug cemetery, which is a protected site. A memorial has also been erected to the Russians and seafarers who were buried here. In 1951, today's chapel, Varhaug Chapel, was built with the old church bells from 1791. Factory owner Asbjørn Stuland had this chapel built. Later, Guri Nested bequeathed an amount for the installation of glazed roof tiles. The chapel is about 15 square meters in size and has 14 wooden chairs to sit on. The chapel is often used for weddings. Varhaug's old cemetery by the sea on the Varhaug farm is a protected site with tombstones, stone walls, sky and sea. It is a breathtaking place. And I saw the oldest tombstone was 1849. Varhaug Cemetery in use for 700 years. The cemetery has been in use for nearly 700 years, but there is no documentation of those buried here throughout the ages. A simple method has been used to expand the cemetery when space was needed. More soil was taken from an area nearby and a new layer was laid on top of the old. Varhaug Cemetery during the war. During World War II, the Germans occupied the cemetery and used 6 acres of it. Cannon positions were set up and the cemetery wall was removed. The tower base and the bell tower that remained from the old church were removed. Tombstones were also removed if the Germans needed more space. The neighbors were shocked by the desecration of graves. They rescued some of the gravestones that the Germans had removed. These were put back in place when the war ended. The Germans used some of the old iron crosses as targets and the bullet holes are still visible. The ancient cemetery at Varhaug is often described as one of the most beautiful cemeteries in the country. It has a unique location close to the sea.